Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Tech with Yeshwanth. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create and deploy your MCP server on an EC2 instance in Amazon Web Services. So if you're looking forward to this, make sure to like the video, hype the video, comment what you want to see next and share it with your friends. So if this excites, let's continue with the video. So what I've done is I've documented all the code that is required in order to build this project on this GitHub repository. So I will also provide the link to this in the description box below. Feel free to check it out. And here, if you see, I've given you the table of contents and there are two options for you to go ahead. So the option one is automated setup with the script and the other one is manual step-by-step guide. If you're a person who want to understand the manual steps behind the scene, I would go ahead and ask you to go with the option B. But in this video, we are going to concentrate on option A. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to explain anything. I'm going to explain everything in detail. So stick around with me till the end of the video. So what you need to do, go ahead, clone this repository and have it on your local machine. So for this, now let us go ahead and create an EC2 instance. All right. So if you do not know how to create an EC2 instance, there is a detailed video on that. But in this video, I'm going to, fast forward it. So I'll skip most of the explanation. But if you want to understand how to create an instance, I would recommend you to check that video that is in the description. Okay, so I'm going to click on launch instance. So I'm just going to say MCP server. You can give any name. I'm just going to go with that. And I'm selecting Ubuntu. Rest of the things I'm leaving it as default. Make sure you are selecting free tier eligible instance type. And we're going to create a new key pair. So I'm just going to give this name and say KP. And I'm just going to create a new key pair. The key pair got downloaded. In the networking settings, I'll go with the default network. I'm just gonna go with a new security group. So I'm just gonna allow SSH from my IP for now, and we will change and add few more details later on. And storage, I'm going to go with 8 GB. That should be fine. And number of instances should be 1, and I'll go ahead and launch the instance. So once the instance is getting launched, I'll also explain the code now. So let me open the editor. Here, if you see, I've already cloned the code on my repository. This GitHub link is in the description. So firstly, let's go with the requirement.txt. So we have 3 requirements: strands, agents, Boto3, and FastMCP. So FastMCP is the library that we'll be using to build our MCP server. So I'm just going to close this. And this is a setup.sh script. Basically, whatever the things that we're going to do, it is totally automated. So I'll come back to this later. And we have client and the server. So first, let's see the server itself, which this code resides inside the EC2 instance. So if you just see this demonstrates how to create a simple MCP server that provides limited calculator functionality. So I'm importing FastMCP here, and I'm also importing transport security settings because that's required because I'm disabling, DNS rebinding production, so the server accepts the request forwarded by the Nginx proxy, and this is safe because port 8000 is closed externally, and only Nginx running on the local host can reach the FastMCP directly. And this is all production ready, so you can go ahead and deploy this in production too. Here, if you see, I'm just going with MCP FastMCP. It's called as calculator server. And security transport is set to security, meaning the connections is secured. And I'm adding a new tool called, if you add @mcp.tool, that doesn't mean that, that's the entry point of your code. The entry point resides somewhere else. But this just means that you're creating a new tool. So the tool is nothing but your function with this special, tool decorator @mcp.tool and with the description. So what does it do? If there is this function and if you're hitting the request to this MCP server, so it will send all the available tools to the client. So now this is one of the tool that is available, that is add. That's the only tool that we have. For example, if you want more tools in the same MCP server, just go ahead and add a new function and define @mcp tool and provide a meaningful description so that your client can understand it or your server can understand it. So here, if you see, I'm adding 2 numbers, x int and y is int, and the result will be x plus y. And the description just says that, right? So add 2 numbers together. And once the request enters this MCP tool description, it understands that, oh, I'm just going to use this tool to order for me to add the two numbers. So this is just a simple example, but imagine the same level of things can be deployed to your production ready MCP server as well. So you can scale this, you can build on top of this. That's the whole idea. Okay, so I'm just going to close this. I think that you're all good with the MCP server configuration. We'll come back to client because client is something that we'll execute the code after creating the server itself. Okay, now let's go back. Let's see if the instance is up and running. Okay, I think the instance will be up. So let's open that and also log into the server on our local machine. Okay, so in order to log in, if you see here, the instance is running. That's good. Let's click on connect. If you are on Windows, you need a special tool called PuTTY. But if not, you can also go with EC2 Instance Connect. Click on this connect. Terminal will open in the browser itself. Okay, but for Mac and Linux users, you can go with the SSH client method. So I'm just gonna now run this code real quick so that we can log in. So I'm just gonna copy this. Okay, now we will be logging inside the server. All right, so if you see here, I'm inside the server now. Okay, Ubuntu and the private IP that you can see. Okay, now let's go back to the GitHub repository here. So if you see here, like I mentioned, we are going to go with option A, which is automated. So firstly, we need to launch an EC2 instance that we have done. Next, we need to SSH in and run the script. So we have already SSH'd, basically logging into the server. Now, what we have to do is clone the same repository inside the server as well. So because we need to execute that MCP server.py. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this git clone command. Okay, so I'm just going to come here, paste this, execute. That's good. Now let's go ahead and change the directory to the clone repo. Okay, so that is also done. Now let's provide execute permission for the script setup.sh. That's done as well. Now let's go ahead and run the script. So while the script is running, I'm going to explain what we are doing here, right? The script will install the Python, Git and Nginx on your server, and it clones the repository and it keeps that repository in /opt/MCP server, and it creates the Python environment and installs all the dependencies that are required, and it also creates and starts a systemd service, right? So you run a Python script on your local machine and it executes well, right? But after, if you want to keep that Python script running every time, what you have to do in Linux, take a moment and think about it. If you have answered that, meaning, you have to run that as a service, you're good, right? So we need to serve, all the customers or all the users to that service. And that's why we are going to go with system.d service. Okay. And basically it detects the EC2 instance public IP using IMDS version 2 and it falls back. Basically, we need to configure the Nginx as well, that we are doing it. And we need to configure Nginx as a reverse proxy and it starts it. So even if I close this terminal, the terminal that you're seeing, it should work, right? So that's why we are doing it. So the script in detail does the same thing that I explained. See here, if you want to go with option B, that is manual step, you can follow this in detail. Okay, so if you see here, it is cloning the repository. Firstly, it is creating the systemd service, right? So if you see here, this is how you create a systemd service. Okay, and then it is going to also send the logs for you to view, and it is also keeping the Nginx proxy details here, and it's going to run that Nginx proxy and serve that to the service. And if you have the TLS certificate, you can use the TLS certificate like certbot and use it, and you can connect from your client, and that's what we're going to do, right? So I'm not going to explain the script in detail, but on a high level, this is how the architecture looks like. So from the users who are present in the internet, we'll send the request to your EC2 server, where we will also have to whitelist port number 80 and 443, and we will also have to add 8000 port, which is closed now for now, because we are using the Nginx reverse proxy, and that is being served by port number 80. That should be good. And that Nginx proxy will receive the request, and the host header will be re-returned to your local host. That's what you're seeing here. and then it reaches to the local host, and on the port 8000, your FastMCP server will be running, which is managed by systemd, the service that we created, and it auto restarts if there is any failure, right? So that's how you can create the service in Linux environment. Okay, so if this looks good, let's go ahead and see what we have next. So if you come back to the server, if you see here, it has also given you the MCP server URL. MCP server URL, nothing but http:// the public IP of your EC2 instance and /MCP. Okay, so you need to use this on the client in order to connect. Okay, so let's just try this. Let's copy this and go to my editor, and here I have a special notebook called client or connect to MCP server Jupyter notebook. So if I scroll all the way up, you see the second step. You can go ahead and install all the requirements. Firstly, you can create a Python environment. I'm not going to explain how to create a Python environment. That is as simple as that, right? So once you have the requirement.txt installed, now let us see the client code, which is also going to help you with the connection to the MCP server. So if you see here, I'm just importing streamable HTTP client and MCP client as well, and I'm also using Stands SDK here. So if you see here, I'm creating a streamable HTTP transport, and it's going to return this. So if you see here, this is where I need to paste the URL that I just copied. So all you have to do is change this IP address. It will be changed for you. So make sure to add your own IP address that you're going to receive. Okay, so if that is good, so here the client will be created, and here I'm creating the agent itself. So if you see here, I'm calling the tools and I'm creating the agent, and I'm passing this tool information inside the agent. And I'm gonna ask a question: what is 125 plus 375? Because that's the only tool that's available, and it's gonna give the response back to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this and see, because it takes time in order to send this request to your MCP server and get the response back. So it shouldn't take much time if the ports are available and everything. I see a problem here, but I will wait for that to fail and then we will fix it, because this video should be useful for all the folks who are learning cloud for the first time, right? So let's see what happens. I'm sure there will be an error. Yeah, if you see here, request timeout. So if you are getting request timeout, what should be the issue? Just let me know in the comments. If you have commented saying that we need to whitelist port number 80 and 443 in the security group, you're good. So that I've also mentioned that here, but I didn't add it on purpose. Let's see how to add it. Okay, so I'll go to my instance. I've only allowed access from my local machine, that's my laptop, to the port number 22. But I also want to allow port number 80, that is HTTP, and port number 443, which is HTTPS. If it's optional, but I also want to add 443. So how do we add? Let's go to security here. I'll click on security. In the inbound, we need to add 80 and 443, but for now it is only having 20. Okay, now let's go ahead and add it. So I'm just going to edit inbound rules. Click on add rule. Here I'll say HTTP. Okay, so port number is 80. From where I'm going to allow from the entire internet, and I also need to add HTTPS. I'm going to allow that from where? From the entire internet, quad zeros, and save the rule. So once you do this, go back to your code and just rerun the same cell and it should work. So if you see here, it's running now. Let's see if we are able to get the response. See, it said, I'll help you calculate 125 plus 375, and it discovered a tool which is numbered as 1, and the tool name is add, and it says 125 plus 375 is equal to 500. And this is the exact same thing we had in the MCP server as well. If you see here, add is the tool name and the description is add two numbers together, and it says add two numbers and return the results. And that's what we got as well. Now you might ask me, what happens if I give other question? For example, what is 125 multiplied by 375? Just try that and let me know in the comments. And if you were able to get the answer right, I'm going to pin that comment so that other users can also get benefited out of it. And sometime developers who need programmatic control Strands also support direct tool invocation. So that's what we are doing here. So I'm using the tool invocation directly. So if I execute this, it is going to do the same thing. It will calculate and provide the result right here. Calculation result is 500. And you can also do this explicit tool call through the agent itself. If you see here, we are calling that explicitly. So I'm just going to run it. And there you go. The result is here. Okay. Now, this is how you can actually, create an MCP server all by yourself. So even if I close this terminal, it is going to work without any issues. But what I would ask you to do is go through that setup.sh script, because that's really important for you to understand what is exactly happening. But on a high level, I've already explained what is the scenario behind the scene, but it is straightforward. And if you follow these instructions in the manual way, you will be able to create the instance and create the MCP server easily without any issues. So that is what I wanted to cover in this particular video. All the links, all the required details will be in the description box below. I've seen that 50% of my channel viewers are not subscribing to the channel. I don't know why, but if you have a specific requirement, do let me know in the comments, and I'm sure you will all learn something new every day. In the next video, I'm going to create the same MCP server on the Lambda. If you haven't used Lambda, let me know. I will create a separate series for that. But in the next video, I'm going to show you how to deploy MCP server on AWS Lambda. So if you want that to happen, make sure to subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, like it, and hype the video as well. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.